I should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello. Welcome back to another Cherry AM. And it wouldn't be Cherry AM if I didn't have this man next to me, Mr. Ollie Hudson. How you doing, Ollie?
Very well, thank you, mate. And good morning, everyone. How are you? You good?
Yeah, all good, all good. Bit of a wet and windy morning by the looks of things out there.
Similar out of my window this morning, mate.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. We do have some people in the chat room. So a good morning to Chris Hubble. A good morning to Paul from Oz. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good morning to Malcolm Chiverton. He said good morning, Craig and OIlie. And Paul Sant. Good morning, Craig and OIlie as well. So good to have you all with us. Let's firstly talk about the pathway. Of course, the first episode is out. You can see it on the AFC Bournemouth channel. So anybody who's watched it, please do not put small spoilers in the chat, but do let us know what you think. But Ollie, what did you make of it?
It was great. You can also watch it on YouTube as well, on the AFCB YouTube channel.
Excellent.
Which is where I watched it yesterday, or last night, should I say.
Yeah.
It was a great insight into the challenges that we're not only facing at the moment, but are going to be facing moving forward. It's got some really good insights. I mean, Simon Francis Fano is very clear in his motives and what he wants to push towards and what he wants to gain from having the academy and the youth squad developed. It's fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, Craig, I'd suggest really trying to watch it today, because it's it really does highlight how far we've come as a team and how far we're going. It really does put it all into perspective, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, most definitely. And like Ollie says, go over after the show to the AFC Bournemouth YouTube channel. And Malcolm Chiverton agrees with you. A really interesting insight behind the scenes and a great production. And most definitely. I think the media team at AFC Bournemouth are fantastic and do some fantastic work. So I'm looking forward to seeing this, actually. And Dan Short says, morning, Dan. Hope you are doing well. The pathway is out, and there will be another episode in 2 days' time, I think.
That's correct. Yeah, tomorrow.
There we go.
Tomorrow. There'll be another episode out at 4 p.m. on the same streaming channels, so YouTube and the AFCB site.
Do we know how many episodes there is so far, or...?
So there's one so far. They will be making, I believe it's a series of 8. My only thing about it was I wished it was longer, but it being a breakout, first insight documentary for our club, you can't really complain, can you? So
No,
I think it was about 23 minutes long, which is long enough. Yeah, do go and watch it, and do keep up and on top of it, because over the next couple of weeks we will be breaking down some of the academy players, some of the players to watch out for, and even some of the goals that they set out in yesterday's episode. So the plan of the academy and category 1 is to essentially build our first team captain in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's their plan. They know that it's big. They know it's optimistic, but that is their plan for this Cat 1 academy. So I'm looking forward to seeing who gets built into that position.
Fantastic. Dan Shaw has said only one pre-season game at home, rest behind closed doors. I'm guessing that there's probably going to be more on the way as well. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see some more announced. Who knows? It might be Vallecano, it might be Lorient. Maybe one of Bill Foley's other sides, maybe Auckland might come over. Maybe we might go over there. So we shall see. We shall see. But let's talk about one bit of information that has come out. Only yesterday, and of course we are in the market for a goalkeeper. Of course, Kepa has left the club. He's likely to go to Arsenal. I don't understand that really, because at the end of the day, he's probably not going to get the game time at Arsenal. But do tell us about this other goalkeeper that we're in for.
Yeah, so Đorđe Petrović exploring options to leave Chelsea. So the initial, from my understanding, the initial interest was from Leeds. But now there's interest from Bournemouth and West Ham. Obviously, Bournemouth and West Ham both in the market for a goalkeeper anyway. I think it could be an interesting move, right? This has all been emerged yesterday. There has been some updates a couple of hours ago that I haven't been on top of in the US. So it'll be interesting to keep on top of. But yeah, Petrović is in our sights at the moment, as well as West Ham's and Leeds.
It will be very, very interesting to see how this all pans out, because do you know what? I'd love to see Mark Travers get a chance here, but I just don't think he's fancied by Iriola.
No, I don't think he's in the plans at all, and I think you can see that from our target transfers, right?
Yeah.
The people that we're going after are not the people that we've got back on loan. So they're two completely different categories of not player in skill sense, but attitudes, characters. They're different squads that he's building here, and the squad that we're building at the moment is not a Mark Travers squad, unfortunately.
No. Mark doesn't really play out from the back. He's a great shot stopper, though, which, that's phenomenal save that he made against Manchester City, where he just dived down and, pulled it out, and, from Erling Haaland of all people. So I just really rate him as a goalkeeper, but I think that Iriola is looking for that goalkeeper that can play out from the back, use their feet, use their skill, use their prowess. And yeah, I don't think that is Mark at all, unfortunately.
No, agreed.
But, yeah, well, there is going to probably be, no doubt, a load more rumours, circulating over the coming weeks. What do you make of, one thing I do want to bring up, this Club World Cup is coming up. What do you make of the fact that the Club World Cup, they've opened up effectively a transfer window for it?
Yeah, I have mixed emotions and mixed opinions on it. I don't understand. I don't really get it. I don't really get why it's happening, to be honest. And I haven't really been it hasn't interested me enough.
No.
In between seasons for me to go, I'm going to really look into this and see what's going on, because it feels like it's been pulled up out of thin air.
Yeah.
and it's been created out of nowhere, and there isn't really any substance to it. So I'm not sure if you have a different insight there.
Well, I just don't, at the end of the day, the Club World Cup has always been a thing which I think is just surplus to requirements.
Right.
You look at, how did these teams qualify? For example, Chelsea's in it. Now, how did Chelsea qualify? Man City, okay, I can understand they've won a Champions League recently, but Chelsea, I just don't understand that. Surely, and this was decided before the Europa Conference League success that they had. So why? I just don't
And
understand.
and there's some teams that aren't in it, right, this year.
Mm.
So isn't Arsenal or Liverpool aren't in it? One of them aren't in it, I'm sure.
Neither of them are in it, I don't think.
Neither of them are in it. Right.
Yeah, it's just Chelsea and Man City.
So,
I just don't understand where these teams have actually qualified.
no.
Um, Paul Sant has gone with regards to Mark Travers. I think Travers holds the record for the most saves in one game against Spurs. I remember that very, very well, actually. We was bombarded. We won the game 1-0. But our goal was absolutely bombarded. Chris Hubble agrees with me. Give Travers a chance. He's a great keeper for the Cherries. And Malcolm Chiverton, too much football, in my opinion, and the powers trying to bring in more revenue. This is the problem, Malcolm, is that they've opened up a window which is they've opened up this window just specifically for these sides, and it's just not right. It's just not right in my mind. Um, you know, just because they want to actually go ahead with this competition, and it's a bit like this European Super League. That's what it's all born out of. Of course, Real Madrid and Barcelona would have a seat at the top table because, of course, this is a plan that's been devised by them. This
Yes.
is an alternative to the European Super League. It's something. It's just got a different moniker. So, yeah, I would rather have seen it where, a team. It's a smaller competition and teams actually qualify by winning their confederation. So the Champions League or the Asian Champions League, or the South American, North American competitions. That's how it should really work. Um, Dan Short said we have Paulson too. Why not give him a chance? Yeah, I completely agree with that. Alex Paulson. We should really give him a chance, and I think he looks a real promising goalkeeper as well. So it'll be very, very interesting to see, when he actually starts playing
Yeah,
for the
and
Cherries.
I don't think it's impossible that these keepers get a chance, right? Or these
Mm,
players get a chance. But we've got pre-season, and they just need to have come back from these loan spells or come back from wherever they've been, and they just need to perform pre-season. And I bet they'd get a C into some game time, right? But there has to be that effort, and there has to be a performance in pre-season. They have to be standing
mm,
out in pre-season. Travers has to be making these saves in
yeah,
pre-season. We have to be seeing this performances in pre-season. It's so important.
completely agree. Completely agree. And Paul, this is actually highlights. This is exactly what is wrong. What is wrong with this World Club Competition Cup thing is, Beckham's team. They're only in the competition because of David Beckham. They're only in it because of David Beckham. So
And they've got
yeah,
Messi on the team.
yeah, they've got Messi on the team, but or what? How have they qualified? They've just qualified by being selected. They haven't qualified by winning something, I don't think.
Well, I was looking at the summary of how to qualify. And there's three ways. So you can win your continental championships at automatic qualification.
mm,
The host country's club may receive one slot in the tournament.
okay.
And you can be one of the top ranked clubs in your region based on performance in continental competitions over a 4-year period.
You know,
So,
I just don't understand this. Why don't we get Leicester City in there then?
I imagine there's a couple of teams that might fit that criteria.
Yeah,
So,
Leicester City. Hang on, give Crystal Palace a call.
yeah,
I just don't understand it. And here we are. This is another thing, and Simon Jordan's actually discussed it on Talksport as well. Is about Crystal Palace and the likelihood that they won't be able to play in European competition. I think this is ludicrous.
because of dual team ownership, multi-team
Yeah,
ownership. Yeah,
I think this is
that's
awful.
absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is absolutely awful. Matt's in the room. Morning, Craig and OIlie. Love seeing Cherry AM going from strength to strength. Shows been great this week. Say hello to all in the chat. Thank you for your support. Up the cherries. Good to
Up the
see you, Matt.
cherries. Thanks, Matt.
And Paul from Oz. Paulson is rated very highly over in Oz. So there we are. Yeah, Crystal Palace, this multi-team ownership thing, yes, I do see where there might be a disadvantage, but we're talking about Lyon and Paris. Lyon and Palace. I nearly
Yeah,
said Paris again. Of course, it's in France. But, the thing is you have got two teams that are unlikely to win that competition. Might do, but you can't stop Crystal Palace having their first taste of European football. It's ludicrous.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
Nottingham Forest, Marinakis of all people, has come out and said, well, I don't think that Crystal Palace should get their place in Europe because he's interested in Nottingham Forest moving up to the Europa League. I'm sorry, but Forest and Marinakis, you're in the
uh,
Europa Conference League because of a reason.
yeah, yeah. And do you know the reason behind this? So do you know the loophole as to how Crystal
Mm,
Palace could have been accepted in
yeah.
with no questions asked? So on the apparently every season on the 1st of March, each team that enters multi-teams into certain competitions are allowed to apply for this multi-team license, apparently. But the
Mm,
owner, who obviously owned Crystal Palace and Lyon, didn't think that Crystal Palace would be getting to Europeans. So they obviously did not put that application in on the
no.
1st of March. But I think that it's crazy to think that owners of City, for
Mm.
example, can put in those kind of applications for City and who's it? FC Lorient,
Girona. Girona.
Girona. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
Girona.
Girona.
But that was all pre-thought of and pre-planned,
Mm,
and they already knew just in case, So I don't think it's fair. I don't think there's equality here for a team
no.
like Palace. I think they've earned their way in, and they should absolutely be playing in the Europeans.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And like you say, Marinakis is saying, oh, well, I divested my shares in Olympiacos earlier on in the season, blah, 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 blah. But, Forest were in a position where it looked like European football was going to become, a formality. So he had a lot more time. Palace never expected to win the FA Cup, but they did fantastically well and did so. So in my honest opinion, they should be allowed to actually play in the competition.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, I'll tell you what, on the soapbox, we have got quite a lot of people watching at the moment. So hello and good morning and to every single one of you. We will be back tomorrow though. But in the
Yes.
meantime, do go and watch our previous Cherry AMs, and also Highlanders to Seasiders, which was done between Matt and Johnny Blair, where they discussed the Scottish players who have played for the Tartan Army and also for the Cherries as well. So yeah,
It's great,
go
great show
watch it.
last night. Great show.
Yes, yeah, most
Really good
definitely.
listening. Yeah.
And any special guests, has asked Dan. I don't know. We need to have a little look and see who we can actually pull in. But yeah, hopefully we will get some special guests back on the show. I know you enjoy those. But from me and from OIlie, thank you again for joining us, and we shall see you in the next episode.
Thanks. Cheers.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.